great weather, beautiful beaches, all the amenities and conveniences of a city, and all super, super affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? We're going to tell you where you can find that destination in just a minute. Hello, I'm Kathleen Petticord.
I'm Leif Simon.
Welcome to a new edition of our Live and Invest Overseas podcast. Everything I described, right? That's a dream, a place where the beaches are soft white sand and the water is warm, where the sun is shining, and then it's all supported by all the amenities, the comforts, the conveniences of city living, but it's a beautiful beach. And then the price tag is irresistibly small. That can't possibly be a real place. That's just a dream, right? No, in fact, that is a town called Puerto Vallarta on the Pacific coast of Mexico.
Right. Puerto Vallarta has been attracting tourists for many, many years. Its claim to fame is the filming of, now I can't think of the movie.
Night of the Iguana.
Night of the Iguanas
with Elizabeth Taylor.
And so Elizabeth Taylor put the town on the map. It's been a cruise ship destination, but it's grown up over the last 4 decades. Great air support from the international airport there. You can get direct flights to many destinations in the U.S., especially from the western half of the U.S. And in fact, Fonatur, the Mexican tourism
development
agency, agency has started a new project in Nayarit, which is the next province, district, state north of Puerto Vallarta, but very close. The airport is practically on the border of the state, for an entirely new development. So they're continuing to develop the coast north, but the area around Puerto Vallarta is hugely developed with, as you said, marinas, has golf courses, and including the big box stores from the U.S. So you don't have to give up your convenience shopping. If you're in love with Walmart and go there every day, you can still do that in Puerto Vallarta if you want.
And I think you don't have to be embarrassed if you're in love with Walmart.
Right.
Walmart and what is it called in the United States? I know it as Do It Center.
Oh, the Home Depot.
Home Depot, thank you. These big footprint stores, they make life easier, and there's nothing wrong with that. And that may be important to you, or it may just be something you'd really appreciate. And we've lived in a lot of places where those things don't exist, and you miss them.
Well, you have to go to every small hardware store to find the one
screw that you need.
It can take up time.
Exactly.
So having those big box stores gives you more time to enjoy what's there in Puerto Vallarta, which again, golf courses, marinas, boating, the beach, and
the community,
and the downtown area of Puerto Vallarta itself, which has shops that are there for the tourists, but of course, if you're living there, you can avail of those as well, and lots of restaurants
and lots of expats in Puerto Vallarta and around Puerto Vallarta, and as Leif was describing, expanding up that Riviera Nayarit coast.
Right. So if you want to be further away from the compact area of tourists and away from the high-density hotels, you can go up the Nayarit coast, and we have friends who are developing in that area of Nayarit.
An eco-friendly
development. It's a small development. There's a fishing village nearby. They go every morning and get fresh fish for the day. So it can be a very tranquil lifestyle again, but the shopping and everything of Puerto Vallarta is 45 minutes away.
I was going to say it's less than an hour to the city. Which is a colonial city, so also architecturally interesting, and just a lot of history. And it's a not a big location, but a small location that packs in everything you could be wanting for. There's culture, there's history, there's the architecture, there's the beach, there are city amenities, there's lots of development, so lots of different options for housing. Different standards of condos, etc. And all of it so affordable, which I guess is the kicker. At the end of the day, you're buying a very rich and well-appointed lifestyle with a very small price tag.
Right, and especially compared to the same lifestyle in the same setting, the Pacific Coast in California. Obviously, you're going to be paying millions, tens of $1 millions for a beachfront house in California, or even $1 million. I have a friend who lives in the Los Angeles area, and they're in just a little rural, nothing suburb, and their house is more than $1 million.
Right.
In Puerto Vallarta, you're going to be not spending that same amount for the same situation. So you can spend that few $1,000,000 for that beachfront house, or you can spend a few $100,000 on a nice condo with an ocean view.
Right.
And then you're spending Mexican pesos, which is the dollar's still fairly strong
Right.
in Mexico right now. So your day-to-day cost of living is definitely very affordable.
And then thinking bigger picture, it couldn't be more accessible. This is a place, a quote unquote overseas choice that you can drive to, if you, especially if you live on the western part of the United States.
Right.
You load up your car and you drive south. As well, residency is very easy in Mexico. And you can just cross the border and show up and stay for 180 days.
Right. Mexico makes it very easy to be a tourist, but also for snowbirds, if you don't want to be in Mexico full time, you really don't need residency. You still may want it for certain benefits that it can allow you, but you don't need it. You can go down for 3 or 4 months at a time in the winter and go home and just do that on your tourist visa.
Right. So Puerto Vallarta would be a top choice for Pacific Coast beach living, super affordable in Mexico. But Mexico is such a big country and offers such a diversity of lifestyle options. This is just one of them on one of its 2 long coasts.
Right.
And we'll be looking at all of the options, all the best options that we've identified in Mexico for living or retiring during our Live and Invest in Mexico virtual conference in March. So if Mexico is on your radar, as right now with the current global climate, it really should be. If you'd like to make a move now or in the very near term, Mexico is a possibility.
Right.
It's actually possible to relocate to Mexico right now. And that's not the case in much of the world, unfortunately, right now. All right, take a think about Mexico, specifically Puerto Vallarta, if you're interested in Pacific Coast beach living. Thank you for listening. We'll be in touch again soon. Take care.
Bye, everyone.